The sound of loud Afrobeat music filled the narrow street of Macon ghetto. Kids ran half-naked, chasing a worn-out ball, while women sat by wooden stalls, selling roasted corn and sachet water. Among them walked Zina, dressed in big jeans, sneakers, and a cap turned backward. Her steps were bold, her voice rough, and her smile charming. Everyone in Macon knew her, the girl who acted like a boy. Zina didn't care what anyone thought. She was confident, free, and full of energy. But behind her fearless walk was a heart that carried a heavy secret. She loved girls. One evening, as the sun melted behind the rusty rooftops, Zina leaned against a wall near Mama Nene's shop. Her best friend, Amara, a soft-spoken girl with bright eyes, joined her. "Zina," Amara said, giggling, "everybody's talking about you again." "Let them talk," Zina replied, smirking. "They always do. They say you want to be a boy." Zina shrugged. "I just want to be me." They both laughed, but deep down, Zina's chest tightened. She wanted to tell Amara everything, about how she felt, about how her heart beat faster whenever Amara touched her hand. But she couldn't. Not in a place like Macon, where people turn gossip into fire. Days passed. One afternoon, the two sat near the canal, throwing stones into the dirty water. Amara turned to her, her eyes serious. "Zina, why don't you ever like boys?" Zina froze. Her heart skipped. "I just don't," she said softly. "They don't make me feel anything." Amara studied her face for a long moment, then smiled sadly. "You're different, Zina." Zina looked away, whispering, "I wish that was a good thing." Zina's mother, Mama Ruth, didn't understand her daughter at all. She would often shout from the doorway, "Zina, you are a woman. Dress like one. What will people say?" But Zina would only walk away, silent, holding her tears. That night, she sat on the roof of their small house, staring at the sky. The stars looked like broken promises. She whispered, "Why can't they just let me live? Why is loving someone such a sin?" A few weeks later, Amara's family arranged for her to marry a man she didn't even know. Zina couldn't believe it. "What do you mean you're getting married?" she asked, her voice shaking. Amara smiled weakly. "My parents said it's for the best. The man lives in the city." Zina felt her heart cracking slowly. "Do you want to go?" Amara didn't answer. That silence said everything. The night before the wedding, Zina sneaked to Amara's house. She tapped on her window, and Amara opened it quietly. They stood there, facing each other in the dim moonlight. "Don't go," Zina whispered. "Please." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "You know I can't stay." Zina reached out and held her hand. "I love you." Amara froze. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Zina, don't say that." "It's the truth," Zina said. "Even if you go, I'll still love you." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The night was silent, except for their trembling breaths. Then Amara slowly leaned forward and hugged Zina tightly. When she pulled away, she whispered, "Promise me you'll find happiness, even if it's not with me." Zina nodded, even though she knew that happiness felt impossible. The next morning, the sound of drums filled the street. The wedding had begun. Zina watched from afar, her heart heavy, her eyes burning. As Amara walked past in her bright lace gown, their eyes met for a second. Amara smiled, a sad, knowing smile. Zina turned away, biting her lip to stop herself from crying. Months passed. Zina became quieter. People still whispered, but she stopped caring. One day, a young woman named Tommy, a new girl in the neighborhood, opened a small art shop nearby. She dressed like Zina, bold and free. They started talking, and for the first time, Zina felt seen, truly seen. Tommy told her, "You're not broken, Zina. You're just brave enough to be yourself." Those words changed everything. Zina smiled again. She started helping kids in the ghetto learn art, teaching them to express who they were without fear. The same people who once laughed began to admire her courage. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Zina walked home with Tommy beside her. The streets buzzed with music and laughter. Zina looked around, then whispered, "Maybe I can still find peace here." Tommy smiled. "You already have. You just stopped hiding." Zina looked up at the sky. It was golden and wide, like freedom itself. And for the first time in her life, she didn't feel strange. She felt alive.